Going into Volume 7, I really wanted to trust General Ironwood, that he was being honest with our protagonists, that he wasn't going to hide any information similar to what Ozpin has done in the past. In fact, I still want to trust General Ironwood. The man seems to be making a genuine effort to be honest and forthcoming with the information that he has. But I've had my suspicions about him ever since episode 2 of Volume 7, and with each new episode, it seems like his paranoia is leaking out just a little bit more, so I'm becoming a little bit more unsure about him. Now, before I get into the core of this video, I will say spoiler warning for those who have not seen episode 7 of RWBY Volume 7, as I will be referencing a couple things that happen in that episode that would be considered spoilers. Now, in episode 2, when our protagonists encountered Ironwood again for the first time since Volume 3, Ironwood pulled out the Relic of Knowledge, saying, "I'm so glad you're here with this." And he follows this by saying, "Up until now, I thought it was impossible to truly turn the tides against Salem. Until now. Now I think it's time for a new approach." And we know what that new approach is. Amity Coliseum opening up the information about Salem to the entire world of Remnant so that they can all be unified against Salem. Which makes sense because Salem's entire goal is to divide them, but we'll see how the plan turns out, because the Grimm are really going to throw a wrench into that, not to mention Salem's faction herself. But because of what Ironwood said in episode 2, it implies that because the Relic of Knowledge is now in his possession, his plan becomes possible, or he came to some realization that now his plan can succeed, or that he can actually turn the tides against Salem. Because of the Relic of Knowledge, it seems like he learned something. So I ask you guys this. Do you think that Ironwood used that last question that Jinn has this era? I want to think that he didn't. I want to think that he's being honest, forthcoming, as I already said, and he just gave the relic to Oscar in a sign of good faith with the question still remaining. But there definitely would have been enough time for Ironwood to actually use that question. Because from the time that our protagonists were captured by the Ace operatives, there seems to be a bit of a time disparity, as there was enough time for the Ace operatives to bring the relic and themselves all the way back to Atlas, give the relic to Ironwood, and, there was some time within there that Ironwood could have easily used the question. I'm guessing when our protagonists were captured, there was probably had to go through central booking or something. It took a little time for Ironwood to realize that, no, these are people I want to see, these are people that need to be brought to the school, etc. Probably took a little time to figure that out, so Ironwood, in reality, all he needed really was a split second to say Jinn's name, time would stop, and then he could ask his question. So there really is enough time for Ironwood to do that. And Team RWBY, Oscar, everyone, wouldn't be summoning Jinn just to find out if that last question still remained. They want to trust Ironwood up to a certain point. They're not conveying all of their information either, so there's, secrets and information have been a theme in RWBY ever since, well, technically always, but became very apparent in Volume 6 and has continued up until this point, and is probably going to continue into the future. But with that being the case, the question could have been used, and then Ironwood just technically handed Oscar just a lamp that draws Grimm, but has no other powers to it at this point until the next era, which, not really a kind show of faith, but I do think that Ironwood would know how to use the Relic of Knowledge as well, because in episode 7 we found out that Ironwood knows the powers of the Staff of Creation, at least some of them, that it's constantly emitting power and that it's being the thing that's keeping Atlas floating. I'm guessing as the headmaster of a school and the guardian of a relic, Ozpin told him how that relic works. And I'm guessing the question would have come up at that point, what do the other relics do? And I think Ozpin would have told Ironwood about the other relics because he trusted him as a core member of his inner circle. Like, I want to think that Leonardo Lionheart wasn't informed about all of this and how to use the Relic of Knowledge, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I don't know. It seems like Ironwood might know about that. Like, if he doesn't know how to use the Relic of Knowledge, then of course he didn't use the last question, but I feel like he might have. Now, if he did use that last question, it would have to do with something involving Amity Arena, right? because that's his plan. That's what he's pushing forward. In episode 7, he was saying the tower has to be completed. There is no other way. Why did he only start working on the tower when our protagonists arrived? Well, it seems likely that he found out something about the Relic of Knowledge that told him this was possible and his plan could actually move forward. Because there's been, what, 6 months, a year since the fall of Beacon Academy, and he didn't start on the Amity Coliseum project until now? Like, he could have started working on Amity Coliseum before he even brought his military back as, well, you don't have to tell the world about Salem until the thing is launched, so you don't need the military there until the thing is launched. Like, he started everything when the Relic of Knowledge came to Atlas. Again, I want to trust the guy, but it seems very suspicious that everything was kicked into motion right when the relic got there. I'm sure he had plans in place already, and he was trying to work out a way to do things, but the Relic of Knowledge, if he used this last question, gave him the confirmation to do so. Now, as I said, it's entirely possible he didn't use that last question, and just the arrival of more people he can actually trust to know about the Colosseum, know about his plan, and support him, helped him move forward with the plan. Now he has enough people that he can trust to guard the damn thing, bring the supplies over there, and work to get this project literally off the ground. So, I don't know on this one. I'm theorizing that he did use this last question, but I'm hoping that he did not. But what do you guys think? Do you think that he used this last question? His paranoia and urgency with getting the relic, or getting the Amity Coliseum off the ground and getting this project underway makes sense either way. Whether he knows from the Relic of Knowledge that this is the only way to move forward, opening up the world, uniting the world against Salem is the only way. But it also makes sense that, you know, he needs to get this project off the ground, so Salem just can't interfere with it, so he can move forward with the plan regardless of what he might have found out by the Relic of Knowledge. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know on this one, and I want to trust the guy, but still, let me know what you guys think. Do you think he used the last question of the Relic of Knowledge? What do you think that last question was? I think it would probably have to do something with how to defeat Salem. Again, probably uniting the world. Or is it possible to get Amity Coliseum off the ground utilizing dust? Or something like that. He can't ask questions to Jinn pertaining to the future, so it has to be something about what is possible now. Can this be done? Not will it be done, but can it type thing. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I look forward to hearing what you guys think and discussing with you in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys are interested, there is a poll going on to determine the best or worst villain in the RWBY series. The RWBY naughty list, if you will, that is currently active from yesterday, December 18th until December 24th at midnight, with the results being posted on December 25th. So you can go there, I'll leave the link in the description, you can go vote for your top 2 villains in the RWBY series, and we'll see how this turns out, who will be at the top of the RWBY naughty list. So with that, again, thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe if you have not already and want to see more RWBY content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.